There are three types of humans. One is the working John. He, she is sitting at a job right now that they don't really like doing for people they don't like. Although the choice to be there is their own, but they are mad about that decision and they want a way out. But since they either make too much money or they have responsibility to pay bills, they don't really feel like they have a solution. Watch further to know more about the other two types. Welcome back to the Pod Digest. In this episode, Codie Sanchez, who is the founder and CEO of Contrarian Thinking, a financial advice enterprise with over 2.5 plus million subscribers, speaks about how to succeed in the business world. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Now let's talk about the second type. The second avatar is the aging population in the workforce. People over 50 or 60 are not getting as many jobs as they were before. There are many that may now live until 90. So what are they supposed to do for 30, 40 years? These people can be buying a business, taking over something, becoming an owner of something not as aggressive. The third avatar are humans who kind of have solid pipe dreams. Like if they buy a few properties that pay me $100 a month profit to finally become financially free, or if they go into the stock market on the side to just beat inflation. This third group of people might like what they're doing, but they just need something else on the side, like a safety net. We all have psychological barriers, which most of us find it difficult to overcome. It's called fear, and this is when you find people saying that I'm waiting for the perfect time, I don't have the confidence. What holds us back in that moment, and maybe the falseness of the stories we tell ourselves, is described as a scaredy cat. The other thing holding us back are our loved ones. People who love you, they want what's best for them, which is that you're safe, secure, and everything's okay. They don't really want what's best for you, because that's actually the scary part. Real growth happens when you take huge risks and you potentially fail, and you realize that you're not going to die. We might just have that strong urge to keep growing and doing more. But our family wants to keep us safe. It's a good thing, but not right for us. So in your life, there comes a moment where you have to make this kind of peculiar decision. The first step is always the hardest. That first step to buying a first business, stepping into uncertainty and the unknown. One of the secrets to this is two things. First is to learn how to do deals. They are not really that complex. We just make it sound complex. Take finance. Financial lingo is the moat around how they make money. The less people speak that language, the more we can charge them, which is the secret. The second aspect is to find someone who knows about the business you are interested in. For example, to run a laundromat. We might not know what to do when the machine breaks. So if you know someone who knows how to run these, you could just find the deal for him, close the deal for him, and pay him for his assistance and consult. Once you learn how to do a deal, you'll never see the world the same again. It changes the entire perspective on everything. Business is full of masochists, people who do it, despite it being awful many times, but love it in some way. But at some point, we want to sell our business and move on to the next one. So everywhere around you, somebody sitting next to you wants to sell their business. We need to figure out how to buy that business. Is it important to have competence in the area and the industry that you're trying to buy any small businesses? No, because it's really about the deal. If you can read, understand a balance sheet, profit and loss. The key part is to figure out how to get to the person that can get you answers to the parts you don't understand. For instance, you may not know anything about laundromats, but you might know a person who knew laundromats or an electrician, even for that matter. Pay them by the hour for consultation to figure out how to run the business. In this day and age, it is very easy to get the information that we want. Instead, we listen to the fear of the fact that we don't know what we're doing. It's really easy for somebody to tell you why things won't work. It is actually quite hard to convince somebody that they're capable of doing something, because nobody teaches us the language of deals. Knowing how to structure a deal is one thing, but there's an element of persuasion too. So next would be, how do we know which type of business we want to invest in? To figure this out, it would be wise to look at what we do and spend money on already. If you make content for a living, you probably spend money on ad purchasing, video production, renting a set space, etc. With all these expenses, what if you could turn one or two of those expenses into an asset, not a liability? Something that makes you money, not that costs you money. Look around you and see what you pay for and what you currently utilize already, and then try to get a percentage of that business, if not buying the whole thing. That is sort of the pro way to do it, as opposed to a car wash or laundromat that's a completely different market for a content creator. The latter is a little bit riskier as it requires more learning on your part. Most people don't ever reach financial freedom in their lives. They have an emotional attachment to money and have really bad stories they tell themselves about money. We follow in our fathers' or our mothers' footsteps in this sense. And it comes down to what we believe, which can be hard for someone not well versed in finance. We're just becoming a replica of the people that we're surrounding ourselves with, which nowadays can also be social media. Content's so important. It would make a lot of us rich if people were honest about how they got there. It is about having the right information. People have overarching philosophies towards money. You've got to save more than you spend. You've got to skip the Starbucks coffee. That's how you'll get rich. One cannot save their way to wealth. You can only earn your way to wealth. There's a really interesting relationship with money on both ends of the spectrum. When you have less, it's harder to hold on to. When you have more of it, feels easier to hoard. We look for individual next tactics, like what can I do over the next 1, 2, or 3 years to get here? Say you have a 3-year goal, break the frame. How could you achieve that goal in 6 months? What would be something so different, so out of the box, that the goal that was going to take 3 to 6 years is now going to take 6 months? One cannot have massive change by going shallow. We'd wait years to do the thing that we should have done earlier. There are certain high net worth individuals that play the so-called money games. They are basically not doing much work, but they understand the laws of money. The richest people do a lot of these money games. One of the secrets to success might be, when you see somebody who is doing better, is to realize that means that you can get better too, as opposed to hating them because they have more. If you can flip that mindset. On the other side of that lives nothing but opportunity. Most billionaires have a mission so big it dwarfs the pain that comes with it. They really want to help you up when they realize that you're hungry. When they see the hunger paired with the ability and willingness to take action, they want to help you. There was a study done across hundreds of individuals across different companies. Essentially, it shows that if you sit next to a high performer, if you have your team sit next to a high performer, you will outperform by 15%. So a high performer just in your proximity will increase performance by 15%. If you sit next to a low performer or underperformer, it will decrease your productivity by 30%. If you are a business owner, every B player you bring on board is not just decreasing their productivity by 30%. It is that energy transfer, which is that everybody around them becomes a little bit less productive. Of course, there will be times when even the high performers will be stuck in a limbo and not doing what they are supposed to be doing. It takes a long time to realize that most of our life is spent trying to please a bunch of people to goals that we don't care about. Things we don't really want and do not even want to do. And it takes a lot more courage for us to not do that thing. Many people are right now climbing a mountain where they don't even care about seeing the view. Sometimes we hear people say that everything you want is on the other side of fear. If the thing that you want is the thing on the other side of fear, we do not have to charge into every fear. Please just choose your mountain wisely. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your help means a lot to us and keeps us going.